Fellas, RJ from Everly Fitness here. I sound like my mouth was full when I delivered that line. But anyways, like, share, subscribe to spread honest fitness information. And today's video is on snacking. More specifically, adjust the camera, how snacking is making you fat and obese and sick and killing you. Now, that might sound like hyperbole, but I will elaborate on that. So there's nothing wrong with having a little nibble here and there. You know, maybe you make some lasagna and like after a long day, you just have a little bite of lasagna. Or like, I don't know, maybe you have a couple candies every now and then. 99% of the time, there's nothing wrong with that. If you're living right. What do I mean by living right? If you are eating right at about maintenance calories typically, or just under maintenance calories. Now, if you are someone who is looking to bulk and you have a good reason to, such as you're not very fat to begin with, or you're actually very underweight, you don't need to worry about snacking. But if you're someone who's on the cusp, someone who is on the cusp of being unhealthy, or someone who's a little bit thicker and maybe shouldn't try to gain some more weight, snacking can actually come back to bite you in the ass. And even if you're a healthy person, eating at around maintenance calories, snacking over time can actually bite you in the ass if you're not careful about it. Here's how. Reason number one, you're snacking a lot more than you think. Adjust the camera. I'm not sure if that's crooked or not, but reason number one, you're snacking a lot more than you think. So like I said earlier about that lasagna, maybe you have a couple bites of lasagna after work. Well, a couple bites actually turned out to be a couple servings of lasagna. You just didn't realize it because it was late, and you didn't want to realize it because you were like, it's just a little bite. But if you actually look down at your platter, it's like, oh my God, I've eaten half of this lasagna, and then you feel bad about yourself. I've been in that situation many times. People often drastically underestimate how much they eat, especially when it comes to snacks, because they view snacks as a throwaway thing. Oh, it doesn't matter if I have a couple candies here or there. But in reality, they didn't have a couple candies, they had like 20 candies. They just don't realize it. Especially if you're snacking multiple times throughout the day and you forget about some of them. If you forget about half the times you snack, and you snack like 4 or 5 times a day, and each snack averages out to about 50 to 75 calories, you're adding 250 calories or 300 calories even without even realizing it. And if you're eating at maintenance calories, guess what? Those 300 calories that you're not accounting for, they count. So you're in a caloric surplus. What happens when you're in a caloric surplus? You gain weight. Now, everybody's weight fluctuates. That's normal. It's perfectly healthy to gain a couple pounds or lose a couple pounds every year. There's nothing wrong with that. But if over time you are consistently eating even a small caloric surplus, which isn't hard to do, this happens to a lot of people. They eat a small caloric surplus of just 200, 300, even 100 calories. If you do that consistently over the course of 10 years, which can easily happen, you will gain a lot of weight. So, Billy Bob has eaten just 100 calories over his maintenance level calorie intake every day for 10 years, which, believe it or not, probably half of the people in this country that are morbidly obese, they're not eating massive amounts over their TDEE, their maintenance calories. They're eating a small amount, but it just accumulates over the course of their lifetime. So you're eating 100 calories over your TDEE for 10 years. You would gain 104 pounds. That's pretty bad. To gain 100 pounds, that's bad. And that's just from snacking. 100 calories is like an apple plus like a quarter of an orange. That is not a lot of food. But if you're eating that amount over your maintenance level calorie intake consistently over the course of 10 years, you'll gain 104 pounds. That is why it's important to me and to the health of our country, not only from a health standpoint, but the health of our economy and our healthcare system, that people are educated on calories, specifically TDEE, which is your maintenance calorie intake. And you don't have to track every single thing you eat, but I think everyone should have just a general ballpark idea of their intake. Now, some people have eating disorders and they can't handle counting calories because I hate to use this word because it's kind of a meme, but it triggers something within them. It can be detrimental to them to track calories. At that point, I would say as long as they're eating plenty of fiber and real food, they really wouldn't have to worry about counting calories as long as they're not overdoing it on the processed sugars and simple carbohydrates and BS that you know is bad for you. But that is how snacking can make you morbidly obese and unhealthy. Just a small snack, a little apple, a little extra apple every day over what you need can add up over time. But this is RJ from Everly Fitness. Like, share, and subscribe to spread honest fitness information. And I will see you fellas maybe tomorrow.